Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to start off a little bit differently. As you'll notice, I'm not sitting on the couch this time. That's because we're going straight to the piano and we're going to talk about fingering. Alright, so we're actually doing the first Noel this time, unlike my previous video. So, if you'll notice, above this E, there is a little number 3. And below this chord here, there's a 3 and a 5. That's because originally this music only had the C and the E right here, and my teacher added the G. So this G is a 1, 1, 3, and 5, because that's a trichord, a triad. So this number 3 tells you which finger to pick, and so does this 3 and this 5. And then mostly in these measures, we're seeing 3, 3, and then down here you've got a 1, and you've got 5, 2, 1, 3, 3. So, when we're looking at your hand from this direction, your thumb is 1, and your pinky is 5. So everything in between is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anytime you see a 3, that's this middle finger, 5 is going to be your thumb, and so forth. So what it's telling us in this first measure is to start off on your third finger. Now you might be asking, well, why doesn't it have all the rest of these notes numbered? Why are we only getting a 3? How do I know what finger to use for the rest of these? Very simple. The rest of it should be right underhand. See? Kind of like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off on this E, and we're going to follow it down. So on the piano, that's going to look like this. You're going to start off on this, whoops, where are you? On this 3, and then it's 3, 2, 1 whenever you go down. E, D, C. And then you're going to follow it back up. And if you know the tune to the first Noel, the first Noel. So you're going to be going from 3 to 1 and actually back up to 5. It's going to be, so where are you? There you are. See? Now that would be the instinctive thing to do. However, you can see in measure 3, this note right here is also a 3. So we're going to have to get a little bit, not fancy exactly, but a little bit, trying to get down here and then back up. There's going to have to be some crossover to get from a 5 to a 3. So, all right. So, because we're going to have to do a crossover, instead of going from 3 down to 1 and then directly back up to 5, we're going to have to cross over in here so that these notes in the right hand still stay, as we say, underhand. That is, within easy reach, kind of like this. So everything is underhand. Now, what we're going to do instead is we are going to keep this a 2 and this a 1, but instead of going back up all the way to 5, we're going to go 2, 3, 1, 2. And that will allow us to get over to 3 on this note and carry up 4, 5. And that's going all the way through the first 3 measures up to the first note of measure 4. And that's all the fingering right here. So a lot of beginning piano music will give you at least these notes here, you know, with the fingering, to give you a benchmark for where you should be ending up. Now, a couple of measures like this, they've numbered more than just the 1 because it can get a little bit tricky, especially in the beginning stages. This, you have to know how to cross over to make it easiest on yourself. So those 2 measures are going to be and then you start over with the first line here, the same sort of melody. but the hand is doing 5, 2, 1, 3. See? Now, fingering is very, very important. No matter what piano piece you're learning, no matter how easy or how difficult, fingering is going to be key to playing it well. If you learn the fingering wrong to begin with, you can mess yourself up, and then you're wondering why you can't get this particular run or these particular chords to land right. Well, that's because your fingering's off. You know, you'll find yourself, like if we stuck with the 5 up here, it's going to be like... Now, how am I supposed to easily get up here to the next note? See? But then you're all up here, and the next notes are going down in the melody. So you have to go down, but then you have to come back up and then go down again. So if your hand crosses like this, see, it kind of works, but eventually you have to get the 5 up here to continue the melody. And the thing about practice, as my teacher used to tell me, is practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So the habits you build up as a beginner are going to be the habits you keep as an intermediate, as an advanced, as whatever level you achieve. Those are, whatever you build in the beginning is going to stick with you. The importance of fingering, too, is it makes the playing smooth. So listen to how it sounds if I were to go down to a 5 on this G and then try to cross over, versus if I follow this fingering. So just listen. Versus now, it may be a little difficult to hear, but there's a pause going from this G to the A that doesn't exist when I follow this fingering. So, for example, if you were singing along to this, there shouldn't be a pause here unless you're taking a breath, which is fine if you're singing, but if you're playing, that needs to be smooth. Now, fingering, again, is going to be very important no matter what piece you play. So you come over here to Deck the Hall, they're going to have you start off on the 5 to make it easiest, and then here's your benchmark. You should be on the 2nd finger here, and then I need to actually make a correction. This is incorrect. I was corrected in the comments of my last video. I appreciate you very much. This should have been 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what that should have been. So, my bad. Anyway, guys, that's a very brief introduction to fingering. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm working on getting a GoPro eventually, or some kind of action camera so you can actually see what I'm doing while I'm playing, because eventually we're going to have to use 2 hands. That is a brief introduction to fingering. If you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. And let me know if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Also, I have an Etsy store. Haven't mentioned this in other videos, but I have an Etsy store. Link will be down in the description. I have a back to school sale going on right now with a promo code. That'll also be in the description. And I will see you all in the next video.